Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game, Scars and Johnny Cage Orc vs. Human here on Tide Hunters 1.2. Scars spawning as the blue orc at the bottom right hand side of the map, meanwhile Johnny Cage spawning as the yellow human in this human versus orc matchup. Looking at an altar of kings, proxy farm, or positioning farm, followed by a barracks coming in from human. Nothing too out of the ordinary. It looks like a standard play. Burrow Rush, long time no see. I'm good to have you back as we get this game underway. For those of you guys watching on YouTube, well, however you may be watching, however you may be listening, thanks for tuning in. Just a gentle reminder, gentle poke for all of you guys out there. If you do have a free Amazon Prime subscription or a free Amazon Prime sub to use out there in the Twitch universe, go ahead and support your content providers. Every little bit does definitely help. If it's not me, at least take it away from Jeff Bezos, or I don't know, Amazon shareholders. That $2.50, you know what I mean. Just continue to support the community. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down. It is going to be a Farseer here. So Farseer with a War Mill. We may see a Lone Grunt come out to help do a little bit of creeping, unless that Farseer wants to try and perhaps put in a bit of pressure harassing. Coming back off to the north, we are looking at a single Archmage, or an Archmage being trained up, Footman getting trained up, as well as we should be looking at some Militia by Johnny Cage to clear out those creep camps and get a fast level 2. Having that Archmage get to level 2 is significantly more important than getting that Farseer to level 2, as well. That Brilliance Aura really does strengthen the Archmage's ability to creep or even just harass. Off to the north side here, going to go after this Sea Giant, Forest Troll, Berserker. One ensnare does go down. There was that, spinning anchor attack, which I know a lot of human players, or some boisterous human players, do not like very much, since it is inconsistent how much damage that Sea Giant does deal, as we are looking at Gloves of Haste now picked up by that Farseer as well. Rotating back around, Archmage could drop another Water Elemental, go after this Murloc creep camp. It does not look like we are looking at Militia getting called on over, so just a couple of Footmen trying to get down this Snarecaster. Could get to level 2 here. Come on, one more attack right there. There's level 2, gonna pick up the Rings of Protection +3, and now is out on the move. Farseer is also sitting at level 2 here, and it looked like it was able to take down one of the units. Not quite sure which one it was. Was it the Footman, perhaps? Looks like a Footman could have been taken out here. Let's see. Take a look. Nope. It doesn't really look like it then. All right. Not quite sure what gave that Farseer level 2, but the Farseer with a good combination of items with the Gloves of Haste and Claws of Attack +5 will be able to rack up more auto attack damage. All right, trying to finish off that last wolf there, but no, a resummoning by Scars, and now a potential surround on that Water Elemental, as the Water Elemental may try and aggro some of these Tide Warrior type of things. No, just going to give more experience off to that Farseer, who still is giving chase. Archmage, well, keeping up that pressure, going to pick up a strong Mantle of Intelligence as well. A little bit of extra bonus damage on top of more mana regeneration as the Archmage looks to retreat back again. Hey, Night Mist still making his way through. Archmage going to go ahead and head back over to the top left-hand side. Tech to tier 2 is nearly done. We can see the Blacksmith is already done here, getting up an Arcane Vault now, as well Johnny Cage is trying to be aggressive on the creeps, but Scars just putting in the pressure here. All right, resummoning those Spirit Wolves. Archmage is going to try and double back around, actually finds an opening out of a tough spot here, as the Farseer may get that much closer to level 3. Taking down a giant sea turtle, well, that should give a little bit more experience. Yes, just enough to get to level 3, which now unlocks level 2 Spirit Wolves. Now, a big problem here is we are transitioning into Riflemen now. The Footmen also need defend, and a Mountain King does need to be trained up. But Scars deciding not to continue with the pressure, instead using these higher level Spirit Wolves to try and clear out more creep camps and perhaps grab some powerful items. Scroll of the Beast, a beautiful item there. and we've been seeing a lot of just taking down one unit out here on the creep camps to pick up that item and then make its way back out. All right, this water elemental of JohnnyCage, has just been giving more and more experience here as the Archmage now comes back around on the other side. No Mountain King, so the Farseer does have a little bit of place to try and retreat. There's a Scroll of the Beast, and we could be looking at one dead footman here in just a moment. Direwolf's trying to dive on in. Farseer could rack up a little bit more damage. There's going to be one dead footman, another dead footman right there. We're going to see it denied. There's one denied. Beautiful. Oh no, that one was not denied. I believe though Direwolf was able to get off that final shot. Meanwhile, more engaging, more attacking the Scroll of the Beast is not going to be altogether that useful. We are looking at a Mountain King coming in as well, but Scars is already trying to cut off the escape path coming back the other way, going into a bit of a pincer play. Very strong map awareness by JohnnyCage to not run straight into that Farseer and those Spirit Wolves as another water elemental gets taken down. Archmage is trying to rack up a little bit of damage here. This is just not looking good. Meanwhile, water elemental trying to shut down the Great Hall at the expansion location. Both sides fighting their way through as the Mountain King now comes in from behind. All right, what are we going to be looking at here? Trying to rack a little bit of damage. We're going to see a Stormbolt. Stormbolt now going straight down onto the Gruntfort. Archmage could be in some serious trouble. Down to 63, 64 hit points. There goes a single Grunt. Archmage down to 20 hit points. Now trying to retreat back as we are looking at the Scroll of Town Portal used in time. Meanwhile, Mountain King, other units are going to try and retreat back, but there's a line there. Some of those units did not make it and will have to take the long walk back home. A beautiful game by Scars so far, being able to split, divide, and conquer, do a bunch of things. Meanwhile, Archmage, joining in on this battle here. This is a really dangerous spot to be in. Water Elemental, Mountain King, Mountain King coming in to engage here. There goes one Headhunter. Archmage using that potion of healing, pretty much almost baiting the Farseer, perhaps to try and get in some auto attacks onto the Archmage. As we're looking at Scars, with the economic advantage and a strong hero level advantage as well. With that Farseer getting closer to level 4 and also having a potion of mana, the Farseer, and with that level up, can surprise with a level 2 Chain Lightning. Mountain King, and there's level 1 Chain Lightning bouncing around across multiple places. Mountain King perhaps trying to reach back here. Another low hit point footman could get taken down. Wolf is going to try and finish off some units. There is, some damage. How is that footman still alive in that frontline spot as the water elementals could turn around here? Couple of priests out here onto the battlefield. Those priests do heal quite a bit of damage as the Tauren Chieftain now trying to go after some targets. Chain Lightning still bouncing around. Low hit point rifleman going to get taken down. Level 2 on the Mountain King. Mountain King, is he going to go for Thunderclap? Yes, he is. But the Thunderclap, the radius just isn't that large just quite yet. Archmage could be in trouble, down to 480 hit points. Units are trying to retreat every which way back. Mountain King could pick up some additional potions and try and perhaps win out the battle here as the Farseer down to 125 mana now. All right, both sides finding their way through. Mountain King does have a potion of healing, but does not use it in time. Gets taken down. Level 2 Mountain King falls. Tauren Chieftain now just barely outside level 2. Should be able to get Endurance Aura here in just a moment as some of the wolves are getting taken down here. Both sides fighting their way through. Is the healing gonna be enough here? There goes level 2 now on the Tauren Chieftain. Endurance Aura should be coming online. 29 supply compared to 41. But this has just been a cakewalk for Scars so far. Economic advantage, army size advantage, and hero level advantage. He has all 3 of the main winning points to try and take control of this game as the units are now retreating back again. All right. Kodo Beast could try, and yes, no, tries to chomp onto a unit. There goes another Headhunter there. 44 supply now compared to 30. Army sizes, however, are actually fairly even as the Mountain King about to, pop on out here in just a moment. This one Rifleman, is he going to be able to perhaps dive back in here in just a second? No, he is not. Archmage, very close to level 4 as the units are going to try and retreat back. 31 supply army compared to 27, but the Mountain King was out of commission. Units are trying to push back the other way. A couple of priests still healing up quite a bit. No sorceresses as of yet. Finally going to train up some sorceresses to try and punish with hit and run tactics and take down some of those trailing units. All right, Archmage coming back around here. Are we going to see a Water Elemental be dropped? There's a little bit of damage. Unit's going to try to make its retreat back here. Tauren Chieftain could get into a little bit of trouble. There goes a Water Elemental. There's a Stormbolt. Mountain King does have a bit of mana and has a Clarity Potion still going, and no one has attacked him just quite yet. Raiders are also out here onto the battlefield as well. Are we going to see a Stormbolt onto anything? No, we are not. Water Elemental, well, trying to catch up to some Scroll of Speed units. That is not going to work out well, as Raiders now coming across with Ensnare. Stormbolt going down here. Raiders trying to fire their way through, try to take down some of these units, as we see a Scroll of Protection now come across here. Scars with that economic advantage, really racking up that damage and using that gold wisely. 50 over 52 compared to 36 over 48. Stormbolt going down onto a Raider. Raider going to get taken down. Priest and Sorceresses are in the back here. Both Raiders were taken out, as the Kodo Beast now trying to bring up the rear again. All right, nothing truly to eat. Water Elementals in the back position, getting in some nice damage across these units. Triple Water Elementals going to be able to focus down this Kodo Beast, which represents a decent amount of damage because of that, well, those war drums across the entire Orc army. Mountain King now down to 106 hit points. It looks like he will get taken down again. Finally taken down there. The Priest unable to keep the healing going, even with that Ring of Protection on that Mountain King. Coming back the other way, that low hit point Headhunter looks like it will be able to retreat back. All right, this Priest with a bunch of Sorceresses nearby going to be able to rack up more damage. That Priest should just dance around right there, as the Priest now trying to retreat back. He's actually also running away from his own healers, as the Tauren Chieftain going to perhaps finish off this low hit point Rifleman. All right, a little bit more damage going to rack up here. We're going to see some healing. Yes, we are. There's some healing right there. Rifleman going to try and engage. Meanwhile, Archmage coming back from the other side. Mountain King is getting resurrected again. Tauren Chieftain losing quite a bit of mana, as well, fighting across all of these units. The Arcane Tower getting the last shot off here. Archmage could have some problems. Down to 44 hit points. Uses the Potion of Healing in time and still fighting its way through. Archmage trying to get away. Going to get an ensnare down onto the Sorceress, as the Headhunter is going to start to poke apart some of these other units. Archmage fairly well protected by the towers and this positioning here, and Scars perhaps does not want to be engaging against against this fortified position. It's just going to allow the Archmage to perhaps get to level 5 faster if he's not careful, especially with the Mountain King about to pop on out. Mountain King is now out here onto the battlefield. Stormbolt onto the Farseer. Farseer gets taken down, double level up, as the Tauren Chieftain watches his brother in arms fall. All right, one Headhunter didn't get the memo that it was time to leave, and with that, the falling of the level 4 Farseer. It's a double level up. Level 5 now on the Archmage. Level 3 on the Mountain King. Is this the beginning of a comeback for JohnnyCage? 50 supply over 62, 36 over 48. JohnnyCage still not quite sure what other tricks he needs to pull to come away with the victory. No weapon upgrades anywhere. Mountain King is sitting at level 2 Thunderclap, so that Thunderclap radius is going to be much larger. It will be able to deal much more damage to these Headhunters. And I gotta remember, these are Headhunters, not Berserkers. 375 hit points, so the level 2 Thunderclap is actually going to do a large amount of damage to the overall hit points of those Headhunters, and with that, perhaps a second Thunderclap or a little bit of Focus Fire will be enough to get the job done. Mountain King is also going to be getting up to level 4 here, as we are now looking at the Farseer trying to come back the other way. Raiders going to remove this Arcane Vault, though, trying to remove that home field advantage, and, well, no more being able to buy items from the shop. That is going to be key here. 44 over 48. More Riflemen need to get trained up. Perhaps the rally point needs to be changed. They'll be able to fire safely from behind here in just a moment. And yeah, there you go, JohnnyCage able to, well, change that rally point there. Stormbolt going down under the Tauren Chieftain. Little bit of mana. There's a Thunderclap problem. Tauren Chieftain now trying to get into position. Are we going to see a Roar? Yeah, Roar now being used, followed by a Stomp. Water Elemental continues to engage here, as the Mountain King could try and throw down a Thunderclap here to slow down a multitude of units. There's another Thunderclap, and the amount of damage getting mitigated is huge, as the Archmage tries to retreat back. Priest continuing to fight. 47 supply compared to 48. Mountain King still has a decent amount of mana here, enough for another Stormbolt if he wants, as the Mountain King is slowly getting more mana from that Brilliance Aura Archmage. With that, Ankh of Reincarnation currently able to just fight amongst all of these units. And what is this? JohnnyCage slowly picking apart all of these units one at a time, and it is giving more and more hit points or more experience to the Mountain King and that Archmage. Archmage finally going to get taken down. He gets taken down right there. Towers are finishing off some units. Mountain King still looking to finish off as the Ankh of Reincarnation going to come back and give that Archmage pretty much full hit points. 500 hit points only. But since the Archmage only has 625, he looks pretty good. All right, that fight definitely going in favor of JohnnyCage. If JohnnyCage does win this battle, well, a perfect reason to never throw in the towel. JohnnyCage, you're just playing very beautifully. Don't worry, JohnnyCage is actually Ghost Hunter. Everyone finally catching one live again. Hey, Witness, Mountain King extremely close to level 5 here. Archmage needs to back away, but the Mountain King wants the benefit of that Brilliance Aura as well. It looks like the Archmage isn't going to back away, but there should be more than enough experience to give that Mountain King level 5 here. All right, finishing off, there goes level 5. What ability will it be? It will be level 3 Stormbolt, as the Archmage could be using a couple more Clarity Potions as well. Mountain King already maxed out. Why use the Clarity Potion on only gain 45 more mana when your Archmage himself is only at 465? Mountain King already topped off. There's a Stormbolt. I guess, well, a perfect opportunity to use it. And, well, that Mountain King, JohnnyCage, just trying to prove me wrong and more again. All right, there goes another Stormbolt, finding the Farseer. And, well, I guess if you're using that Clarity Potion and you have the mana, just continue to, unleash those Stormbolts on these targets. All right, Headhunter, 375 hit points. Stormbolt going down onto our Raider. That is a 5-second stun. Units are going to try and retreat back out, but the army's got two separated. Chain Lightning finding every which way as Scars was able to perhaps pick off that little bit of a back line. All right, some Shadow Wolves getting quickly revealed. Are they going to take down that Sorceress? No, it is not. Meanwhile, Archmage still trying to find some additional targets here. Those Shadow Wolves dancing around. Mountain King without Boots of Speed, unable to catch up to the target as the Archmage, well, Mountain King is going to buy Boots of Speed. Yes, does buy Boots of Speed, and now should be able to catch up to that Tauren Chieftain. Archmage unloading some attacks here. Mountain King Stormbolt straight up onto the Tauren Chieftain, but the Tauren Chieftain has far too much hit points right now. Chain Lightning bouncing around. There goes some Dispel Magic to try and stop those Spirit Wolves. Meanwhile, the rebound coming in from Scars over the top, now sitting at 60 supply, but the Tauren Chieftain could get taken down with the Potion of Invulnerability not being used. No spamming on that Potion of Invulnerability. The Chain Lightning, however, continuing to find targets and racking up damage. Mountain King needs to get in more Thunderclaps. You can see the Raiders now trying to dive on in here. Tauren Chieftain back out on the battlefield. Does have Endurance Aura to give across all of these units. 58 supply compared to 34, and even with the great comeback by JohnnyCage, it doesn't look like it will be enough. JohnnyCage down to 34 supply compared to 53. Now Mountain King going to go after the Tauren Chieftain. Tauren Chieftain finally uses that Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, as the Mountain King could try to get in front here, finishing off multiple low hit point units. Mountain King going to try to chase after that Tauren Chieftain. Is he going to be able to find it? Yes, he will. That Tauren Chieftain going to get knocked it back down, and now that Mountain King slipping away. All right, Mountain King nearly at level 6. Archmage is at level 6, and with that ultimate abilities now on the table, the hero level advantage of JohnnyCage may just become far too much. Wolves trying to dive on in once again. Riflemen able to shoot their way out of these dangerous situations, as Scars, who had a decent 20 supply level or 15 supply advantage, and also a hero level advantage at some points throughout this game with a massive resource advantage, couldn't close the door. Beautiful game. JohnnyCage outlasting Scars while attacking inside JohnnyCage's main base next to that arcane vault with only one arcane tower, and JohnnyCage was able to find, well, effective ways to defend and trade efficiently. Once that started to happen, the hero level advantage started rolling towards JohnnyCage, and with that, well, once we had level 2 Thunderclap and then also level 2 Stormbolt, well, that Mountain King just unlocked Beast Mode. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below.